Hey riders, so I did a 2.5 hour ride today. That was about 5 miles uphill, and my hips feel really tight from sitting in that position for so long. So I'm going to lead you through a hip opening mobility series that you can do post ride if you're feeling how I'm feeling right now. So this is going to be a little yoga-esque, but we're going to make it opening up the hips a little bit and adding some strength into those lateral and rotating positions, especially for right here. And then we're going to bring in a little bit of the T-spine. So from holding this position down moose house. I'm a little tight up there. All right. Now we are going to start in a high plank position. From here, eyes of the elbows face each other. You're going to press the ground away from you. From here, I'm going to keep my gaze following my body. I'm going to shift my hips back, coming forward to that high plank. And I'm going to hit this a few times here. Shifting back, forward to high plank. Shift back, forward to high plank. From here, I'm going to shift my weight into my left foot. I'm going to take my right foot up in front of me, turning that back knee under. Here, I'm going to press my left hand away from the ground. I'm going to open up, rotate, big look up, and then rotate all the way in. Some of you may get your elbow to hit the floor here. That's awesome if you can. If not, stay right here. You can also open the hip up a little bit. We're going to take a few rotations on this side. This is called the world's greatest stretch because it feels effing amazing, especially after a long bike ride. From here, I'm just going to step back, and I'm going to take a few more of those press backs, loading into my knees a little bit because those did a lot of work today on my ride. I'm going to take one more. And I'm going to step my opposite foot out, turn my toe under, press away from the floor, stay nice and supported in the back of that shoulder. And I'm going to open and rotate. I'm going to do a few here with my foot flat on the ground. And I'm going to let that hip fall open. Taking a couple more. I'm going to step it back up to my plank position and sit back a few more times. Oh, this feels real nice. Pressing back. I'm going to drop one foot forward. I'm going to turn and face you guys. I'm going to hit some adductor rollbacks for the inner part of my leg here. I'm going to roll back, turn my toe up, and press forward. So focus is here right along the inside of the leg. Couple more. Last one. I'm going to come up. So a couple options in this position. I'm going to stay right here. You can open the hip a little bit, but for today I'm going to stay right here, and I'm just going to hinge back, getting a nice loading into the hamstring of my right glute and a nice little mobility stretch down the inside of my inner thigh. I'm going to take one more. From here, I am going to open my hip up. I'm going to make sure that my knee stays facing over my middle toe. I'm not going to let it roll in. And from here, I'm just going to shift my hips over, and I'm going to hold and bring it back up and make my stance a little bit wider. And let those hips just drop down. You're going to hold this for anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds. I'm going to take 4 on each side for time's sake here. I love doing this stuff outside when I can. I'm just in my backyard right now, getting home from my ride. Awesome. And nothing fancy. We're going to take it over and switch sides. Roll it back, bring it forward. I like to turn my toe up with this one so I get a little bit more of a stretch down those adductors. I'll take one more. Awesome. Taking it up and then getting into that hip shift here. So working a little bit of internal rotation of your straightened leg, and then we're just getting some nice mobility into that big hip of my left leg. Awesome. I'm going to open up my stance a bit more on the side, knees facing over middle toe, shifting the hips forward. forward, shifting them over. Bring it up. Whew. I live up in Summit Park. There are a lot of critters flying around. So if you're wondering what I'm batting at, bunch of flies here. There we go. Did you see how my hips just dropped on that one? I'm gonna take one more. And bring it up. I'm gonna turn myself back to this high plank. I'm gonna twist into my spine a little bit. I'm just going to reach back and tapping outside of my calf here a few times. Feels nice. You can even hook the hand around and look up under the armpit if you'd like. One more. Awesome. From here, I'm gonna make it down to my belly. I'm going to bring my right hip up. I'm gonna press up on my right hand. So you can press all the way up. You can also come to right here. This is where I'm gonna hang out. And I'm gonna rotate underneath of me and come back up out of it a few times with the arm up. You can get a little bit more range of motion into this one. I'm gonna take one more of these rotations. From here, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna place my hand on my hip and I'm gonna pick up my back foot and roll it in. So again, I'm getting out of that biking over and over form and just moving the hip in different ways here. Awesome, I'm gonna take one more. Good, I'm gonna prop myself back up. Again, nothing fancy. Just gonna switch sides. This side I am gonna press all the way up on my arm. And I'm gonna reach underneath and reach it back. Good, staying nice and stable through the back of my, what is this, my left hand. Okay, this next one I'm gonna hold. Hand's gonna come on the hip. And I'm going to tilt my hip inward, lifting up my back foot. You can take this as many times as you'd like. I'm gonna take one more. Good, I'm gonna press myself up, coming up out of it. And this last one I like to do for my lumbar spine. So I'm gonna hit a tabletop position, but my knees are gonna go in and my toes are gonna go out. And I'm gonna shift back as if I have a tail, tucking it in between my legs. I'm gonna come forward. Good, good, good. Taking a couple here. Again, you can take as many as you like. And then all I'm gonna do is reverse that, toes together, knees out. And I'm gonna rock back into a bit of a child's pose here. Again, just mobilizing through that hip. I'm not looking to hold any stretches tonight. I'm gonna hit one more rotation for my spine. Now you can do this propped up on yoga blocks or you can do it right here on the ground. Nice, strong, sturdy core and low back. I'm gonna place my hands behind my nape of my neck here and I'm gonna rotate up through that T-spine. I've got a bit of bicep tendonitis happening on my right side, which is why I'm not able to rotate as high there. Again, taking as many rounds here as you'd like, keeping it slow. And there is a nice little flow you can do after your bike rides, again, to open the hips up. Hope that helps, guys. Have fun on the trails.